no ring on my finger, you ain't calling on my friend.
Bro, you be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, 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 you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, you be going hard. Know me from the start, I'ma play my part. I got no heart, I be going hard, I be blowing strong. Got my money long, ain't down for the situation and you came wrong. Got a fat ass, how do you perform? Say she love my swag, ask what I got on. Fuck you all night, Uber in the morning. Your girl look good, you should tell her join in. You be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, 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 you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, you be going hard. Baby, bend it over, let me see you twerk. Say that you can stay, say you gotta work. So big, I see the ass underneath your skirt. Smoke weed, so you pass, cause she need the perk. I be on alert, grinding from the dirt. Fuck her so good, say I come in first. You just need another glass, then you getting turned. Bend it over, throw it back, put it in reverse. You be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard, you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, 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 you be going hard. Other bitches, they be slacking, you be on your job. You be going hard, you be going hard.
Let the games begin.
好了，现场的所有球迷朋友，欢迎大家来到我们 P.LEAGUE 联盟热身赛第3站的活动现场。我是今天主持人陈伟。
大家好，我球给彭尊的彭尊。
大家好，我是丹尼。现场的观众朋友，今天非常开心哦，因为今天是我们这一季2021-22赛季的最后一场热身赛。是，前面2场哇，相当的精彩哦。Danny 是不是要讲一下第1场？
第1场真的非常不简单，就在我们今年新成军的新北国王主场新庄所举办。如果有看的观众朋友，大家应该都可以发现，今年国王无论是实力还是阵容，都来势汹汹。我相信他们绝对可以冲击季后赛，甚至是冠军赛。
哦哟，那彭尊，听说你上礼拜有到高雄，对吧？
上周呢，在高雄凤山，同样呢也是今年刚加入的高雄钢铁人，哇！ 吕真如的35分太疯狂了，原本以为他们这一季呢，好像，但是他们直接用行动证明他们非常不好惹。
对，当然啦，前2站没有去到现场的大家，这2天是你们的福气，因为这是首次，这2天我们6支球队会都在这个球场上出赛。刚刚提到2支新球队哦，但是我们元年的4支队伍，台北富邦勇士。 桃园领航员、新竹街口工程师以及我们福尔摩沙台新梦想家，没有1支是弱队，所以所有的球迷朋友， 季票可以开始买起来了，例行赛的票可以开始买起来了。
推了呀，各位。
好，那么接下来呢，我们有一些贵宾要介绍啦，在比赛开始之前，首先呢要介绍的呢，是我们的纪律委员会的召集人张思明，有请，
欢迎
欢迎，掌声。那在旁边的呢，是我们正大雄鹰的创办人江丰年江董事长，
欢迎江董，
欢迎。那么另外当然要欢迎我们的联盟执行长陈建州陈执行长，
掌声，
掌声。
好，那么接下来呢，也要特别来感谢我们的合作伙伴，还有我们的赞助商。首先是我们的教育部体育署、中华民国篮球协会，以及呢我们共同的主办单位国立台湾大学。
官方指定运动防护品牌 LP， 你的健康精品生宝家电 ，Q&A 与保时捷同行 Porsche， 国际运动品牌 Nike， 奥运指定用球 FIBA 官方指定用球 Molten for the real game，
还有台湾大哥大 Open Possible 能所不能。世界级的新科技好水 Water Chen， 麦味登温暖每一天，法式内在保养品牌曼黛玛莲，你生活态度的代名词。还有台湾手机壳领导品牌 Reno Show 犀牛盾
Oris Go Your Own Way， 全球品牌最爱用的聊天机器人 Go Sky Unifi。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. It's the big event before the season begins. We're here at NTU Sports Center. It's the third stop of the P.LEAGUE preseason. Welcome everybody to the English broadcast. Before we head inside to a well-decorated NTU arena, I'm Ryan Chen, English play-by-play, joined by Coach Ben Metcalf.
Hey everybody, great to be here for what's going to be a great 2 days of basketball.
The Dreamers Grit and Grind 2.0 faces off against the outside attack in the new Taipei Kings. On screen now is our Mandarin broadcasters. On the right, Taishin, Taipei, and making his P.LEAGUE broadcast debut, it's Xiaohu. 球迷朋友要收看中文的转播，按中文的直播连接即可。Welcome Xiaohu, a internet personality and basketball commentator, while we take in the performance of the Plus girls.
내가 어떤 년인 것 같아. 내가 어떤 년인 것 같아.
掌声加尖叫给到我们 ，Let's go！ 好的，马上来进入到我们今天的第一场比赛，将由新北国王对上我们福尔摩沙台新梦想家。首先介绍新北国王，背号1号李英峰。 背号3号小敏陈俊南，背号7号林立人，背号9号李凯燕，背号10号微笑射手简佑成，背号15号小豪曾宇豪。 背号33号杨新志 ，Starting Five 先发5人名单。背号2号林世轩，背号11号洪凯杰，背号25号欧玛聂欧玛。 背号28号 Steve 张文平，最后一位我们阿美战士背号6号杨敬明，总教练 Ryan Marchand， 助理教练陈世念，助理教练许浩成，助理教练张可群。
接下来，让我们欢迎台新梦想家。梦想家的板凳暴徒、脚踝终结者0号陈俊杰，梦想推进的引擎，梦想球王7号陈立焕。 来自彰化的光速4分卫，绿色闪电背号8号王正源，本土单场最高得分纪录保持人，标速跑车7号林俊吉，前面起飞的最佳第6人，纽泽西航空 Randall Walker。 攻守进化无极限，台湾魔兽26号李德辉，出手就准备命中，3分代名词30号吴守卫，水陆两栖逐梦人禁区守护者97号郑志阳。 接下来介绍先发5人 Starting Five， 用实力说话就是我的意思。国民姐夫背号14号吴永胜，梦想家的后场强力大锁，防守悍将18号杨胜彦，中华队的传奇射手。 美梦狙击手背号21号简浩，攻守兼备的梦想元老台湾韦德23号全克尼，来自 Wisconsin 地图防守兵器火锅制造机34号 Brandon Gilbert。 总教练 Head Coach Tell Juniors， 助理教练 Thomas， 助理教练刘文屯，助理教练赖柏林，总经理谭俊凯。
好的，请双方球员握手致意，并且在场中间留一张合照。我们进行一张合照好吗？进行一张大合影，来进行一张合照。麻烦围着我们 logo， 来合照合照。往后退一点，往后退一点，往后退一点，往后退一点，往后退一点。对，往后退一点。好，来我们前面的摄影师。稍微再往后一步好吗？稍微再往后一步，稍微再往后一步，再往后一点。好的，谢谢。好，请看前方举手的摄影师。来，3、2、1 ，OK 了吗 ？OK， 好，谢谢。我们进行最后的热身3分钟 ，Winner 3 minutes。
So after the pregame performance and the players' introductions, we'll get started with a little bit of a pregame analysis. Coach Ben, welcome here back to Taipei. During the broadcast of the next few days, we got to talk about your experiences here. A historic stadium, of course, in a historic university campus, but the first matchup between these two teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Obviously, we saw the Kings, their first performance a couple weeks ago with a new coach, with a lot of new players. I'm sure they've done a lot of tweaking over these last couple weeks now that their coach is finally out of quarantine. And last week you saw the Dreamers with some great individual performances on the court.
The first player to be highlighted is Chen, number 23 for the Dreamers. Of the previous seasons, a lot more defensive minded. We've already talked about how he's going to try to get more involved on the offensive end, more of an opportunist to start things off, but good numbers so far in the preseason.
Yeah, and we've talked about him expanding his offensive game. Last week he showed a lot of stuff that he hadn't shown in the past. Doing some stuff off the bounce on the pick and roll, some nice passes. Again, that defensive intensity, you know, we're going to get from him every game, and if he can unlock that offensive part, he's definitely going to be somebody for the opponent to reckon with.
You know, in our league, there's a lot of times where players get kind of forgotten and lost. Kenny's got to take advantage of his opportunities like a lot of other local players.
Exactly. He's a guy that's been in Coach Julius' system for a couple years now, and he knows exactly what the coach expects for him. Coach obviously understands what he can bring to the table and is giving more and more room.
And on the other side, the player we're going to be highlighting is Jianyouzi JJ. 5 of 15 in the second game against the Braves, including a 13-point third quarter. Is a guy with a lot of accolades coming into the pro level and showing it up here on the big stage.
Yeah, he's a guy who previously played in Taiwan's SBL. Probably didn't get as much playing time as he would have hoped for, just being stuck behind some veterans. But he's obviously enjoying this new start here that he has with the Kings. Great job last week against the defending champion Braves, especially against their zone. Again, he's going to show you a lot of shooting ability and showed a lot of other stuff on the break last week as well.
Kind of a familiar situation for Coach Marchand when he went to Vietnam and coached up a expansion team there, playing a lot more of a perimeter game with the Kings, that showed on the pregame. 55 three-pointers attempted, which would have been a regular season high of last season. So they want to play from the outside.
Yeah, and obviously some of this is going to be a result of their imports not being in town yet. So again, we can have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt and kind of guess what these teams are going to look like in a couple weeks.
Last season, when the Plus League hosted the third stop down in Taichung, this league getting started off, so the second time around, putting a lot more effort into the presentation, a lot more sponsors coming forward, so our thanks to them. We'll be shouting them out. Of course, only one entrance here at NTU for the preseason, so fans, be sure to get to the arena early and be prepared for the weather outside. We've got a light rain to moderate rain here in Taipei, kind of pushing everybody on the inside to get some basketball going on.
Yeah, we still got a little bit of fog inside from the pregame show, so weather issues everywhere, Ryan.
You might have saw the starting five walk out to the floor, but we'll be presenting them right here on our beautiful graphics. Starting with the Kings from top to bottom, we got number 2 Ling Sijun, Steve-O, Zhang Wenping, KJ Hong Kai-jie, Amigo Yang Jimin, and Omar at center. For the Dreamers, Yang Sen-yin, Jeff Wu Yong-sun, Doug Jian-Hao, Kenny Chen, we mentioned in pregame, 23, and Brendan Gilbeck will be jumping center. 3 rookies for the Kings, but that's kind of the coach's point from the very beginning. They want to get film on these new guys, test them out before the regular season starts.
Exactly, and I'm sure that they've had some good weeks in practice, and now he just wants to see how they do going against somebody who's not wearing a Kings jersey.
And our ceremonial first tip, opening tip, by CEO Taiwan of Porsche, Matthias.
Okay, take a photo.
Matthias Bussi.
Okay.
And representing Porsche, who will have a collaboration with the Plus League. More on that later.
I hope the collaboration's giving the English commentators some cars or something like that, Ryan.
Yeah, I would like to test drive a Porsche from time to time. Taichung, a lot of land, a lot of space, big metropolitan area. Coach, I'm sure you can make a good use out of an automobile.
Hey, you got to use that on the highway. Let her loose. Safely, of course, under the speed limit.
There's Phil Chen in the Kings jersey, courtside. He's wearing white. His team wearing the dark colors. And Dreamers will be in white. Here we go, and the third stop of the preseason get kicked off by the Dreamers. Taking time to set something up. Jeff to Doug. Tries the alley. Gilbeck hasn't tried that, but smartly steps through for the first points of the game.
Yeah, a little confusion there on that ATO, but again, Doug just knew to throw it up high, let his import take care of the rest.
5 of the teams came out to NTU to test out the floor yesterday as Omar puts one up too strong.
Yeah, I'm sure these bigs are going to be happy to not see DeGuara this week after he took out one of their guys. Again, a lot of learning opportunities for these young players.
Drive to the hoop and off the mark. Second time around, Amigo. Looks Steve-O's way. He drives around and lays it in.
Yeah, just a blow by on the perimeter. Gilbeck not able to get there in time to protect the rim. Nice quick attack and transition for the Kings.
Now Gilbeck with the turnaround shot. No. We'll get a second try. Doug on the screen, short. Another rebound. Sometimes these imports are having trouble when they're a little bit too close. KJ to Suzhen, who played really well in that second game with 8 assists. Omar had the aim closed off and a foul called.
And that's something we've seen Gilbeck struggle a little bit over the first couple weeks, just that foul trouble. Yeah, good job by Amigo getting into the lane. Omar in the dunker spot. But again, we saw those arms down. Again, Gilbeck's just got to remember, stay up, stay straight, and they won't call that foul. But again, he's a younger import. His first time being in a non-English speaking country, so it'll come with time.
Something that was talked about around the Dreamers practices a lot is how no matter if Gilbeck's on the inside or cross-matched up on the outside, the Dreamers want to trust him to chase down blocks at the rim.
And that's what we've seen. We've seen a lot of more experienced teammates just remind guys don't foul. Again, he's there to help. We don't need to give guys easy trips to the free throw line as we see a layup and then a interesting transition pass from the Kings as the pace of this game picks up quite a bit.
Now a backcourt violation. I think the dribble went off of Gilbeck's shin. We saw in the Steelers-Braves game, the ball off the knee, it led to Captain Lou's 3 closing down that game, but now a backcourt violation.
Yeah, 8 seconds to forget there for both teams.
Diva with a lane, with a long layup. That time Gilbeck affected the shot.
And that's something that he's going to have to get used to. Again, after that shooting performance over the first weekend, guys are going to chase him off the line. We've seen him have a couple drives with mixed results early in this game.
Jeff will fire away and in and out. They can't gang rebound. And Gilbeck with another board, but Their point total is stuck at 2. I mean, they're only going to play at NTU in this preseason, Coach, so getting used to the stadium is, you know, kind of, I would say hit and miss, and right now a lot of miss.
Hopefully we can start to get some hits going forward, though.
Now Kenny at the point. Looking for Gelbeck with a crease and fouled.
Again, that's what we talked about earlier in the broadcast, something that Kenny really didn't show a lot of last season. Again, showing some creativity off the pick and roll. Nice little pass. Again, weak side help not there in time. Omar forced to foul. Gelbeck at the line for 2.
A little bit of an opening, Coach. Some of your own personal history with the NTU Stadium.
This may be the only stadium in Taiwan that I have not been called for technical fouling.
I will write that down.
Because I haven't coached a game here. Had an exhibition game that I coached here. Seen some NBA exhibition games here. Saw Jason Mraz once, but not a lot of basketball in that one. But again, great facilities. It's something good for our fans in Taipei to be able to see a new environment.
Maybe you're so comfortable that you didn't get agitated to T.
Hey, those exhibition games can get intense sometimes, but as we see some intense defense there in the backcourt. A little confusion from the refs, but looks like a turnover there for these Kings.
That pressure defense put on by Jeff. So it complimented Sijin in the early stage of the game, and he turns it over. So
yeah, that's again, these Dreamers have a lot of guys who can defend. As we see Kenny miss the 3, but again, from the backcourt, they got a lot of guys who can get up and pressure full court, and that's something that I'm sure we'll see more as the season goes on.
I was gonna say that the Kings turned it over so few in the preseason so far, but having trouble controlling the basketball with 3 rookies out there.
Yeah, and that's where they're going to struggle with not very many playmakers on the court. We've seen them go to Amigo a couple times, and with this lineup, he's going to have a lot on his shoulders.
No subs yet in this one, as that one is erased by Gelbeck.
Well, again, and that's one that you were talking about. Again, Jeff kind of half beat there. No need to foul. Just get up and let your big get the block from behind. Nice help defense from Gelbeck.
Deflected. And another reset.
We've seen a lot of activity defensively from these Dreamers, even with an early start.
They were announced as registered players, but a few guys missing for the Dreamers, including Calvin, Derek, and Randall Walco, with maybe a little nicks before the season gets started. Now a push shot from deep by Hongkai Jie. I don't know if that's the fundamental you want to see from your shooter.
It's kind of one of those beat the shot clock shots, getting it up. Unfortunately, didn't get much of anything.
Jeff with a lane. The Dubs mid-range overshoots that badly. And the Kings like to run. Here they go. Kenny stops the break.
Again, we've seen these Dreamers defenders get up into Amigo. Obviously, with him being on the team last year, very familiar with how he plays and just the pace that he plays with. We see Jeff with another turnover, no steal.
No movement on the Kings bench yet, and his shot from the corner, in and out.
Yeah, but again, I'm sure Coach Marchand has his lineup set up. Obviously, with these rookies, it's going to be a rough start, especially with some more veterans on the bench right there, but trying to give some opportunities for these young players.
Hongkai Jie commits the foul, which is the Dreamers' chance to get an Achi.
We see Gelbeck, again, doing a much better job of staying down, not getting caught in the air this week. I'm sure that's a result of a couple weeks of film sessions and talking from his coaches.
Number 9 for the Kings, Lee Kai-yin, is in the game. He's what we expect to be the guy running the show for them a lot of the times.
Yeah, like we just said, he's an experienced guy who's been on a number of different professional teams here in Taiwan. So, again, Coach Marchand knows what he can get from him. It's just some of the other guys are still a mystery at this point.
D pass, another tip away by Doug. I don't know if I qualify him as a cornerback, but he's done a good job tipping passes.
Hey, when you can get those defensive lines up to harass the quarterback, you'll get things like that.
We'll go to a break, and the rest of the first game coming up. Welcome back to the broadcast, everybody. 收看的球迷朋友，记得帮我们的直播按赞。That is, please like the stream, everybody.
What's our goal for likes today, Ryan?
We were averaging above 120 in the first two stops, so let's put it at 129.
Okay. Let's get to it, people. Early weekend, bad weather here in Taipei. Might as well get on here on YouTube. Get some likes up there. Doesn't cost anything, does it?
No, it does not cost you anything. Looking in through the comments in the chat, number 25 is Omar. He is a, we called a Taiwan University student. So each team is allowed one such player or one and a overseas Chinese, a Huai. Aji putting the pressure on Amigo. Like Coach mentioned, teammates before and another poke away. But Amigo hasn't given it up.
And again, we just see Amigo shouldering such a heavy load there. Trying to create offensively. It looks like Jeff came down on somebody's foot after going for that rebound.
Quite a bit of pain. Might be a bad ankle turn. We'll see it on the replay. And it was. So you hate to see that.
Yeah, good job by the refs to stop the game immediately. Get some medical attention for him. Oh, sorry for the shooter.
Fortunately, was having a pretty good preseason up to this point. Wei looking to capitalize on opportunities and openings in the corners, but he'll definitely be out for a little bit with that ankle turn. So the Dreamers' rotation getting even shorter.
Yeah, you said it. Again, already coming in with some guys not available for action today, but again, everybody very familiar with the system for the Dreamers. Opportunities from some other people.
Serious enough that Coach Julius is actually nearby the medical station as they try to put some ice on that.
Yeah, we've seen not just coaches trying to get some experience for their players, but also for their assistant coaches. We've obviously seen Roger kind of take a back seat to Aaron here in the preseason, but Coach Julius doing the same thing today, letting one of his local coaches get some experience as we see Dougie do a little dance after getting a little lucky off that bounce.
9-3 is the score as we're only a combined 1 for 7 from deep. Steve-O's chance from the left side, got it.
Again, a mistake from the weak side defense. Again, no reason to suck in that deep off of a shooter, and Steve-O doing what he does best.
We saw that a lot in the Kaohsiung stop. offensive foul on the screening action by Gilbeck.
And we've seen this happen from the Kings a couple of times, just off a handoff or pick and roll action, not getting up onto these shooters from the Dreamers. And again, a little bit too much help, allowing Steve-O some space there. But like you said, a little embellishment from Amigo, but that's something where Brandon's got to know. Again, just stand there, you're big enough, no reason to risk that foul.
We didn't see him on the screen, but number 97, Chen Ziyang, who goes by Nick, actually this week received an official contract from the Dreamers, so he'll be part of the team going forward.
Yeah, again,
Omar, another offensive board. KJ tried to get the foul, but turns into a transition foul by Amigo.
Yeah, just expecting that foul, kind of quitting on the play. Amigo with the foul to break up the fast break, but you know, we've seen these pick and rolls be a little bit of a challenge for this Kings team. Nobody really attacking on the pick and roll. Omar not really the threat that an import would be, so not a lot created off these pick and roll opportunities so far in this first quarter.
So good story after good story as number 8, Wang Zhenyuan, we seen him last week, a kid from Changhua.
He's in for the Dreamers as Kenny's reverse layup also disrupted at the rim. So I was mentioning Chen Ziyang, one of the centers in for the Dreamers, commits the foul.
Great job right there, just attacking the big on the pick and roll. A little bit different now that Gilbeck's off, but it's the first time we've seen these Kings really attack the rim. Big not able to keep up. Ikayen with a nice and one opportunity.
Talk about not collaborating with the broadcast. Chen Ziyang, who committed the foul, got his official contract from the Dreamers previously as one of those, shall we say, trial players or practice players.
That's when we say taking advantage of an opportunity. That's what he did. Again, he's been practicing with the team for a while. Had a good performance last weekend, just doing exactly what the coaches need from him, and obviously just getting rewarded with the contract.
Couldn't avoid the turnover as he steps on the timeline.
And this is where last week we saw him do a little more of that rebounding, setting screen stuff. Again, today on that turnover, a little bit more handling, something that he's probably not as comfortable with. So again, young players growing into their roles, trying to figure out what they need to do on the court.
Tundra Nan, Steven, number 3, is in the game. He's got the blonde hair. I'm fairly certain he's the only blonde local player in the Plus League. Unfortunately, left with a rock as the shot clock.
Yes. I'm trying to think of going through every single player's hair. I've gone through about 75% of the lineups. Still, he's the only blondie out there.
Aji throws away high. Now on the counter, Ling Li and Xiao Li. Started his YouTube channel and has been very popular. Scrambling for offense. Steven, good job just to get it on the rim.
But again, we're just not very many playmakers there on the court for these Kings. Having a really tough time on the offensive end.
Now Aji with a nice floater.
And that's the aggression that these point guards need on the pick and rolls. We've seen it twice, missing the layup earlier, that time with a nice little floater in the lane.
And a loose ball foul. So good hustle showed by the rookie.
Yeah, but again, just not a lot of playmaking. Coach Marchand realizes that, gets JJ back in the game as we see Aji with a nice little floater over the recovering defense.
Something that's often part of the basketball discourse is at the high school level, a lot of coaches can get away with playing guys that are about just 180 centimeters, just under 6 feet, and be competitive against much bigger teams. But when they get to the pros, it's tougher. Lone layup by Nick, but the second time rebound and the points.
Yeah, again, every level you go up, the game's going to slow down a little bit. As once again, we see the Dreamers picking up full court, creating a turnover and hitting a three.
So listed at guard, Steven dishes off to JJ. He swirls it in.
And that's something with these teams. We've seen these Dreamers struggle with a little bit. Just getting back in transition after hitting a corner three, giving up a corner three on the other end.
Nice drive by Aji to Jeff. And immediately that's a timeout. The Kings kind of getting outran in transition in the full court.
Yeah, once again, an early attack there from Aji, picking up the pace. Nothing the Kings can really do with no bigs in there.
Initially, nice find by Chen. So Chen Ziyang is probably going to play an important role backing up Lee Dowei, who's got a longer season to deal with. He might have Gilbeck in there to help him out inside, but Lee Dowei, Derek is still a key figure in their offense and defensive plans.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Julius uses Derek this year. Obviously, last season he was essentially the only bigs there for the Dreamers. He had to hold down the middle. This year with Gilbeck in, I'm sure he'll be playing mostly the five. Maybe he'll play a little bit forward with Derek. Again, with these Dreamers, we're used to seeing them play smaller lineups as opposed to bigger lineups. So once Derek gets back, it'll be very interesting to see how Coach Julius kind of puts everybody together there on the court.
Anyways, I was mentioning how, like, JJ, part of the high school team that won the championship, 5 smaller players against, the field. But what is being talked about is the big guys don't get that development, don't get that court time when they're younger. So when they make it to the next level, they're expected to perform because they have the size and the skills, but not the technical abilities or the experience. So something the environment would like to see adjusted to.
Yeah, Taiwanese high school basketball is pretty much go fast. If something's not working, go faster. Again, so that's where you can use that speed advantage to win games. Obviously, in the professional leagues, we see nice help defense from behind by JJ, but when you get to the college level, the professional level, obviously the game's going to slow down a little bit. You have better individual players, so it's tougher for some of those smaller guys to survive. So it's nice to see somebody like Aji, who wasn't really getting a lot of playing time last season at the beginning of the year, figure out his role and did a great job going forward.
Turnover on the inbound by Steven and Xiaoli. Sloppy start to this game. 6 turnovers so far by the Kings, but of course, some of it credit to the Dreamers' pressure. They're on offense as Aji trying to get the dribble practice on, and a unsportsmanlike foul by Jeff. One of those clear path varieties.
Yeah, again, those take fouls. We've seen the refs being very consistent calling them. And we've seen coaches been very consistent about protesting and having them go to the monitor.
That's what they'll do, and we'll take this opportunity, maybe get in some notes about National Taiwan University's Sports Center. Opened up in 2001. The full capacity, coach, could you take a guess?
15,000, Ryan.
That's way too high. Oh. It is actually, the full capacity is 4,200, but we're expecting this space to have about 3,500 to accommodate the NBA chairs and the baselines for additional media presence.
Yeah, guys, nice intimate court as we see the refs go and change it to a common foul. But again, it's nice to see different courts here involved in the Plus League season this year. Again, not just at different locations, but also in places like Taipei, where we've been for a while.
Xiaoli to the basket. We'll get free throws, and Chen thought he was in position, but had to take the hit and the foul. It was close.
Yeah, not sure who they called the foul on, because like you said, Jay looked like he was in position. But the foul being called on the rookie. I've seen most of these rookies struggle with foul trouble in their first seasons and going into their second season. So that's what the preseason's for, Ryan.
Young, in fact, has 2 fouls in this first quarter of this first game of the weekend. As missed free throws leads to the perfect free throw by Xiao Li. Dreamers with the lead as Jeff finds a crease but blows the layup. Here comes the run and pass game and another corner three.
Looked like a replay of the last fast break. Just drive, kick out to this left corner over here. And once again, we see this Dreamers bigs getting caught with an offensive foul.
I didn't notice, but the #1 assistant coach for the Dreamers is actually standing in front of the LED boards.
Yeah, that's what we said. These coaches trying to get some experience for their assistants. Again, Boyle's an assistant for Coach Julius for a few years now, and so there's someone that he obviously wants to develop. And that's where there's a lot more opportunities this year. Again, not just for coaches on established staffs like the Dreamers, but also for guys like the Kings, where Coach Marchand is there with some local coaches there, just learning some different systems and learning different ways to do things.
Bowling goes by Eric as JJ with a hand in his face.
Yeah, no hesitation there, looking at the zone, catch and shoot, nothing but net.
And just like that, the Kings take the lead back. His challenge, and Chen with the answer. Last season's JJ, if we could go by naming. Xiao Li goes to the corner. Jeff reads that one.
The Dreamers do a good job reading that pass a couple times. That baseline drive, baseline drift, they've cut it off as a missed three earlier in the possession there. But again, right now with Doug at the 5, these Dreamers are going to have to be scrambling. Again, no reason to play normal defense here. Just continue playing aggressively, going for those steals, and continue to let it loose from 3 as we see Chen hitting another one.
That has been the strength with the Dreamers. They don't shoot for the best percentage in the league, and defensively they don't defend for the best percentage, but they've often won the math equation in field goal attempts against their opponents. Whether it's pressure, whether it's opportunistic rebounding.
And that's something I've never done, Ryan, just win at a math equation. I seem to always lose when it comes to math.
So you're admitting that you're more of a humanities kind of?
Not much of a student, which is why I ended up on the basketball court.
Short with that shot, as the Kings try to push the pace, but the Dreamers can match them. They have a cross matchup, but don't go to it till now, as Deng Hall scores from down low.
We've seen JJ come in and bring a little life to this Kings team. Again, hitting from the perimeter, they're creating off the bounce, something that this Kings team is in desperate need of.
Running low on time, Chen got the foul with the wide step through.
And obviously the big focus is on how these guys play offensively, but I'm sure Coach Marchand also wants to see what guys can do defensively. They're trying to go with the switch. Obviously some of these bigs aren't as mobile as others that time, getting called for the foul, but that's where he's trying to put together his defensive philosophy and how he's going to break it in with this team. So again, expansion teams definitely not jealous, but they look so good so far today. Easy for me to say, Ryan.
No problem. No pressure either at this. We are only at one of the world-renowned university campuses.
I told you, I'm not much of a student, which is why I'm here on the basketball court.
Is that why your behavior is so good in the stadium?
I'm on my best behavior here.
Couple free throws made is a tie game. Beating the shot clock with the longest finger roll we've seen in the preseason. That's a miss, and the end of the first quarter. Kind of a sloppy start, but the team's getting into their rhythm. We'll go to a break.
出我们执行长以及我们 POJA 的总裁来到我们的球场中间，有请 Miss Taipei 的 Center。OK， 我们请工作人员把奖杯拿上来。好，我们要请我们执行长把这个 MVP 的奖杯送给我们的 Metcalf。好，看向前方。One more, 1, 2, 3。OK 吗 ？OK，Thank you，Thank you。好，那么呢，等一下呢，我们要继续进行第2节的比赛。哇，执行长把奖杯拿走了。
Check out player heights, team stadium information, and more on the Plus League website, pleagueofficial.com. That's pleagueofficial.com. The three-point barrage by JJ Chen was one of the early signings by the Kings, and a very notable one, playing in the Taiwan beer team, but kind of stuck in the back end of their rotation, getting his chance with the Kings.
You mentioned earlier, very prolific scorer in college. Again, not a lot of time there on the beer team, but showing a good job here so far for these Kings.
Gilbeck, Jeff, Wu Fengwei, Doug, and Kenny. That's their starting lineup for the Dreamers. Meanwhile, 2 rookies next to Xiaoli. And JJ and number 9, Kyle. So more often than not, you'll see Jeff and Aji split up because Carlos Julia is counting on them to run the point. Gilbeck was open, but good hands. The Kings get the basketball.
Yeah, you said a nice screen-to-screen interaction there, but broken up, and the Kings are going to come back at you in transition and fire up a corner 3 as Xiaoli not able to hit that one.
Fans might have noticed during the break there was a MVP trophy presentation, and it is official now. Porsche will sponsor the Plus League's monthly, yearly, and finals MVPs award, so our thanks to them. Having a very high-level sponsor, a very involved sponsor. There's one of the easiest blocks Gilbeck will ever get.
But again, once again, we see Chen not really attacking on the pick and roll. No really any reason for the big to help, just not being able to create too much.
Again, Gilbeck guarding the point guard, whereas Xiaoli misses a 3 from the other side. Kenny, that's his preferred side, and will get the foul on the drive.
I've seen Kenny do that a couple times so far, just been able to get out on the break, get to the rim. Kings a little bit slow to get back in transition, but that's something they're going to need to figure out, because a young team, you should be able to at least be able to hustle with guys and not send guys to the line.
2 guys will come in, including Omar and number 1, Li Yingfeng. That's Mason.
Yeah, Mason, another guy that I'm sure is going to get a lot of minutes as the season progresses. You know, the guy's been playing professionally for a handful of years here in Taiwan, spent some time with the Braves and their former incarnation in the SBL and the ABL, and then went on to the SBL. So again, it's going to be interesting once these imports come in to Let's see how this Kings coaching staff decides how to put everything together.
There are a number of former Braves on this Kings team, including currently injured is Yang Xingzi, who's playing a lot of the 5 for them. Had to go up against Samuel Degar and took a few blows to the face, so sitting out until their season officially gets started. Kenny to the rim from the left side, fouled again.
Yeah, we can just see the difference between the Dreamers and the Kings. Again, regardless of who it is, Dreamers just attacking the rim on any of these pick and rolls, getting those big shoulders turned. Maybe not able to finish, but able to create some free throw opportunities, as opposed to these Kings who are kind of passive and not playing with a lot of pace coming off of these pick and rolls.
Another trip to the line, this time makes the first.
Again, Kenny's evolution is pretty obvious, and it's really a result of Coach Julius's offense. We've seen them being very equal opportunity, swing the ball, get into that weak side pick and roll, something that not a lot of guys were comfortable with initially, but we've seen just those pick and roll skills, those ball handling skills improve from season to season.
After 2 for 2, that's 5 points for Kenny Chen. Omar with some space, lays it around. Gilbeck's block.
Yeah, first time this Chen's really been able to create off the dribble. That time, Doug getting clipped on a nice screen from Omar, and Chen with a nice find and a nice finish by the rookie Kings big.
Gilbeck on the block. They haven't gone to him. Nice hands by Omar.
Kind of thought he'd giving up on that possession. As we said, a nice screen. Nice extension finish by Omar on that roll.
Maybe they're going to go after Doug again. Mason passing to the wrong spot, and that's another turnover.
Yeah, you said it. It's really not a spot where you want to give the guy the ball. He's kicking out to the corner, giving you some space. Again, these spacing issues are definitely going to be an issue for teammates who have come from different teams, different systems, and haven't gotten the time playing together.
Jay Chen in, Jason in. Now from the left side, all net with that shot. Yang Seng-yin.
Yeah, nice little pin down action from Gilbeck. Again, more threes for these Dreamers.
Yang Seng-yin very accurate from the outside in this preseason. Was 6 for 13 coming into the game. Isn't out of bounds.
Yeah, we see Gilbeck doing a nice job kind of clogging up the middle. Yeah, and any of those back guts he's able to take away with that long wingspan of his. As we see the nice pass. Nice little hop into a three-pointer, and Yang Seng-yin always gets some airtime on that three-pointer. Some airtime diving for that loose ball, too.
Out of the baseline. They go to Omar, but chase down block by Gilbeck. Good rotation there. Now Jay-Chen to the basket and in, high off the glass.
Yeah, these Kings just having a really difficult time defending the ball. A lot of straight line drives, a lot of guys getting clipped off of screens, not a lot of ball pressure. They're giving these Dreamers a lot of opportunities.
From the corner, Steven left open, got it.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix up there defensively. Not sure who was coming out to the corner, and probably maybe his first time in front of the scorer's table, but very quick to get that timeout called.
Chance for us to go to break. We'll be back after this.
好不好？有10位可以上来玩。我先照顾一下1楼的朋友，哪里的朋友想要玩啊？1楼的朋友在哪里？弟弟，这边的朋友，来哦。2楼的朋友，奖品非常好。我先1楼先来一个。 边的，
挑战一下我的臂力。
哦，我这碎了一颗呢。
右边有没有？右边1楼的朋友有没有？
小心哦！好了，拿到球的朋友，麻烦到那边举手的工作人员跳一下，跳2下，好，很好，到那边集合，好吗？啊，球不要偷着。
Follow the Plus League on all these social media accounts. On Facebook, P.LEAGUE with a plus symbol. Instagram, P.LEAGUE.official. And Twitter, @P_League_EN. Coach Ben, you don't need to tell us the account, but your preferred social media of choice?
None. I'm an old, bitter man. Tries to stay off that social media, Ryan.
Does that mean you buy the paper every morning, or do you have it delivered to your doorstep?
That I get digitally. We
You're not that old.
We gotta be environmentally conscious, you know? What about you? You're a Twitter guy, aren't you?
I do like Twitter.
How do you feel about the P-League's English Twitter account?
You know, I do think that they can fill that with more things on the timeline. See if we get some Twitter exclusives. As a missed shot by Doug.
Yeah, but another nice ATO, another good screen from Gilbeck, just Dougie not able to hit the wide open three-pointer.
There's a matchup that the boss, Charles Chen, was hyping up. Doug against Dongwon P. Two, shall we say mixed Taiwanese players in the league. Sporting some facial hair and often longer hair, as we see the easy block shot by Gilbeck.
Again, two guys, good friends, played together before. Again, two guys who are shooters, two guys who are fan favorites, two guys who play with passion. Again, Steve-O, after leaving Taiwan the last time, spent some time in France with the quarantine, not able to play on a team, had to spend some time at some odd jobs, so he's just thankful to be back on the court, and I'm sure that these Kings are thankful to have him out here on the court.
Something I just noticed, because the action was right in front of us, Steven Jungnan, he only had one hand on the basketball while he was inbounding. That can't be fundamentally sound, Coach.
Again, there's some new fundamentals out there. A lot of the times, back in the day, it was no behind-the-back passes, there was no one-handed passes, but now with defensive moving so quickly and covering so much space, again, there's some necessity for some new fundamentals. We see him miss a pull-up dribble three-pointer.
Here come the Dreamers with pace. Backdoor Aji. No look to Doug to the corner. Jason. Got it.
Yeah, these Dreamers doing a good job of just sharing the ball, moving side to side, and doing a really good job of just hitting shots.
Now, Coach, did you have any personal pet peeves when it comes to some things on the court with the players and their fundamentals?
Anytime it was a turnover, that was my pet peeve. Again, Coach is more of a result-oriented creature. You can make the most fundamental pass in the world, as we see some fundamentally bad transition defense, but you make the nice fundamental pass and it's a turnover, you're going to get upset. You make behind-the-back pass, it's a turnover, you're going to get upset. So coaches are very consistent about getting upset about pretty much everything.
Now backdoored at Omar, but the basketball goes through. But there's a turnover.
Yeah, we just see this Dreamers defense wreaking havoc with this young Kings team. Not a lot of counters in the offense quite yet, so when that ball's picked up, as we see some nice ball movement from the Dreamers. Again, anytime one of these options is taken away for the Kings, it becomes a little bit of a struggle for them offensively.
They'll start with their dribble handoff action. Jason. Screen by Nick. Saved by Kenny. That pass wasn't going anywhere. ISO by Kenny. Nice left-handed finish.
Yeah, really the only guy on the court that can create. And Kenny kind of saving that possession, able to get right to the rim. Showing off his offensive game once again.
That combination of speed and some of that bulk at his height, supposed to be his advantage. Dump off pass by KJ. Omar fouled at the rim.
Yeah, Kenny's a guy who, coming back to Taiwan, hadn't played a lot of organized basketball before. Like you said, talented physically. Again, a lot of ball handling skills that probably aren't as mature as they are now, but he's shown a lot of development over these past 3 or 4 years. And good to see players like this get an opportunity in the league and just get into a stable situation where they're able to grow.
Meanwhile, a long huddle going on by the 5 Dreamers.
That's good. Good friends. You're winning. Everybody's happy. Probably just seeing what's going on, what's for dinner later tonight.
Now Omar at the line. Makes the free throw. You know, the Dreamers lost count.
I'm not gonna lie, that's about the 3rd time that the rookies lost count of the free throws. He's gone after the first rebounds very intensely. He's gone to backcourt, but hey, he's a rook.
I guess it's a good compliment to him that making sure he's putting in the effort all the time, but even though he has his contract, Kenny through dribble to the other side. Will shoot from deep. And above the basket.
And that's going to be the next thing that Kenny needs to work on. Again, shooting off the dribble from behind the 3-point line. We could see Amigo not treating too much respect from that range and made the miss.
Last season, Kenny was a 28% 3-point shooter, a little bit below league average. Now KJ splashes it.
Yeah, right after I talked about the Dreamers doing a good job cutting off that pass, Kenny getting lost on the weak side. Amigo with a nice find after the baseline spin.
That's got to be the 5th or 6th 3 made in the corner over here. Jeff moving to his right, missing. Jump pass, nice find by Amigo.
Yeah, just great job by these Kings bigs running the floor, creating opportunities. Amigo with a nice touch pass. Another transition bucket for these Kings.
Jason from outside clanks it. Here comes Amigo. Now KJ from the other side. It's in.
Once again, maybe KJ with the 3, but Omar sprinting the floor, taking out that defender. Nice job by the semi-local big for the Kings.
Something to note that yesterday was Coach Marchand's birthday, which the Kings celebrated here at NTU for their shoot-around. To get a look at the Kings offense, like Coach mentioned, like we all know, want to win with speed, and the helps with the big guy occupying the space.
Yeah, just a couple nice possessions there for Omar, just sprinting the floor, and we can see there putting the rookie in a bind, 2-on-1, leading to a corner 3 in transition.
In your career, did the players ever try to notch any special occasion victories for you, Coach? So for the Kings, Marchand doesn't have a victory in the preseason yet. They have a chance today and tomorrow.
Well, you know, it may take a little time to get off the schneid there for these Kings. Again, at this point, we just got to see a little bit of improvement from each game to the next game, so especially without their imports. So, you know, we've seen Coach Marchand putting a little bit more stuff in the offensive game, and we've seen these Kings have some success, have some struggles, but that's what you expect with a young team in their first year in the Plus League.
Speaking of the Kings imports, I've been told that they will get out of their 14-day quarantine this week. And so after the 7 days of self-health management, they are scheduled to play the Dreamers on December 11th as their first game. It will be the Dreamers' second. So add that dynamic to the mix of the 2 teams matching up. Maybe one more stretch before halftime. Achi to Kenny to Jason. Chen flashes open, but that's an errant pass.
Yeah, I don't know what Chen's vertical is, but I don't think he was going to get to that one. Maybe Gilbert could have gotten to that one, but probably not Jay.
Heading down the other way, KJ. Down to Omar. The middle move, no. So they've been working on that right hook a lot in practice between Coach Carlos and Omar. Jason will fire off to the right.
Yeah, we've seen with not a lot of creators on the court for the Dreamers right now. We've seen a lot of one action and a three. Again, a little bit different from how they were playing earlier in the game, which is why the Kings have kind of come back and made this a three-point game. You can see Omar working on that little baby hook, but his body position moving away from the basket. The rookie just kind of pushing him out of those spots. This time, pushing him out a little too much and getting his fourth foul.
Don't need to worry about it too much. This is the preseason after all, but interesting to see two guys who are going to be playing probably more backup roles as Amigo bumps the defender out of the way, pass deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, that's where we saw Omar doing a good job taking away the defender, but the Dreamers able to get their hands on a nice rotation.
So the players take huddles, the referees huddling and figuring out it was a King who touched it out of bounds. And well, that's a lot of deflections, Coach.
Yeah, and good job by Coach Marchand not trusting his player. That ball pretty obviously off Omar. What have we learned, Ryan? That
players are not to be trusted.
Exactly.
There's an errant shot not to be trusted. Now KJ from the corner, short. But basketball off of Gilbeck.
Yeah, we see this game getting more and more physical there in the paint. Omar going at Gilbeck. We've seen Omar get into it with a couple players. Gilbeck not one shy for confrontation, so something to watch out for as this first half draws to an end.
Now an offensive foul. Looks like Omar kind of maneuvering a little bit too much for the screening action.
Yeah, and we've seen Amigo not getting too much out of his pick and roll. It's just very, very slow developing plays that really let the defense kind of get back in front of him. But I'm sure that's something that the Kings will go over this next week in practice.
Now that's something I haven't thought about, Coach. Have you ever got to a player who was of the YG Sun status in your coaching days?
Yeah, I've actually had a chance to coach Omar as we see a couple missed layups there. I've actually coached a lot of these players. Stone for the Braves, Omar I've had a chance to coach in some camps, and again, it's a nice opportunity for them to come to Taiwan and kind of start a new life and be able to thrive on the basketball court. And, as we see Aji once again being able to get into the paint and transition, but again, the P-League with all these new opportunities, it's good to see some people given some chances to thrive.
Aji's floater game has been strong this preseason as Kyle got caught stepping on the baseline.
Yeah, Kyle talking to Omar about his rolling angle. Again, not much of an angle to make that pass, kind of getting pushed out to the baseline. But again, we see Aji with that little floater in transition. Such a tough shot to stop from that little, what did I call him, skitterbug guard? Jitterbug guard?
Skitterbug guard. Timeout by the Kings. They want to make some under 2-minute adjustments. Take advantage of the time, make a really quick counter. Down by 5 points. No timeouts remaining, Coach. They're getting all their instructions in as much as they can.
And these are really where games are won and lost. Again, it's a 5-point game, a minute 38. I'm sure Coach Marchand is just telling them, hey, let's try and get this game tied up, maybe even take the lead. You go in there at halftime and have a much better feeling. At the same time, I'm sure the Dreamers coaching staff is telling them, hey, if we can push this to a double-digit lead, it's really going to be tough for those Kings in their halftime. So, again, important minute 38 here.
So both teams under 40% field goal shooting and a combined 21 turnovers. But like Coach said, maybe you can get a lot of it back and have a real good, strong momentum heading into the break with just 98 seconds in this case.
Okay, Mr. Math.
Thank you.
Just showing off here at this prestigious university.
Speaking of the prestige of Taida, shout out to the NTU softball team in the Bay Area. I played with them in my time in California. Great guys, very inclusive, but definitely have a lot of that NTU pride.
All right, are they watching the game right now, Ryan?
I believe some of them are.
Well, tell them to give us a like.
They are very supportive. Gilbeck to Sun Yin, who shoots the pull-up. That not a huge part of his game is Chen, who gets the loose ball and with a tough finish. That physicality, Coach, you're talking about on display there.
Yeah, just a nice job getting into the defender's body, able to finish through contact. Again, off balance, tough shot right there as the Dreamers able to get 2 second chance points.
0 for 8 in his first game against the Steelers last Saturday, but 3 for 6 in this one.
And this is where we saw the Kings struggle a little bit 2 weeks ago. Defense is changing out of a timeout. Really not much organization. Steve-O misses a 3, but
had his feet set, but can't hit. Romigo races ahead to the hoop. Fired that basketball off the backboard, and there's a lot of guys crashing and only now recovering to head to the other end of the floor.
Yeah, no call there, which I'm sure Amigo not thrilled with, but last shot opportunity for these Dreamers.
Aji left alone. Couldn't punish the Kings for that scouting mishap there. Almost a 50% shooter from outside last season. Chen's second try, as a lot of Kings quit on the play afterwards.
Yeah, you said it. Again, not a great 98 seconds for those new Taipei Kings. And they're lucky to be only down by 7 here.
Talk them up a lot. They'll still get a chance in the second half. You're watching the Plus League on YouTube.
logo 是在 Porsche logo。嗨，在我们面向那边，好，面向前面。好，我们站一排，好不好？我们站一排。跟大家简单的介绍一下今天的游戏规则，非常的简单。等一下就是拿了球，在我们 Porsche logo 上面投这一个篮筐，好吗？投这一个篮筐，投进就带走我们今天唯一一个礼物是什么？
他们可能现在没有很兴奋，是因为他们还不知道。这次我们礼物是 Porsche 和 Remova 联名的行李箱。
想要吗？还有人想要吗？啊，没有机会，不是，大家还有机会。为什么呢？如果这10位
都没人投进，
都没有人投进的话，我们今天 Porsche 说了，现场一定要送出去，我们用抽的，好不好？所以人人都有机会。来，那我们要开始喽，弟弟。
突然观众不想帮他们加油了。
没错，来弟弟，等一下，听我指挥，3、2、1，再投，好吗？那你先转过去一下。这边会不会太远？会太远吗？
有，家长们应该是家长们说觉得太远了。
那我们往前一点点。你觉得这里可以吗？ 太远了吗？我们再往前一点点，好，这里。好，就这样啊。既然是 logo 下，弟弟，场子交给你。投3、2、1，用力。哦，好，谢谢弟弟。
差一点点，差一点点岁数。
好，弟弟，我们可以回去休息了。来，
谢谢。
这边你说你几岁？7岁，你谎报。你刚才想了一下几岁？你是不是谎报？好，7岁对不对？我们往前一点点，然后这里可以吧？这里好不好？不行，你比他刚刚年纪大一点，就这里。来，3、2、1，哎呦喂呀！好了，谢谢弟弟。来，弟弟可以回去休息了。来，勇士队的球迷对吧？既然是成年人了，我们就不往前了啊，
不然每一个都要求往前站。
来了，准备好就可以投了。3、2、1，我投。有，差一点点，很可惜，我们可以回去就来下一位。
刚刚现场是发出一个悲鸣，你知道吗？
一个悲鸣。来啊，准备好就可以，啊，不可以超过 logo 哦，好不好？来。嘿，好，来，
太多想法，脑中太多想法，
突然想了很多。来，准备，准备好就可以开始。又差一点点。大家，我们剩下5位了啊！只要5位没有投进，大家的机会就来了，好不好？我们 push our logo shot， 来。准备好就可以开始。哦！那个欢呼的很早。下面一位，好了，可以回去休息了，谢谢。来，要准备好就可以来了。我投，好，谢谢。最后3位，有没有信心啊？你看起来是这一排里面最壮硕的，你知道吗？
In 2 weeks, the Plus League season begins with the Formosa Taishin Dreamers heading to Hoping Gymnasium to face last season's champion in the Taipei Fubon Braids. Tickets on the Braids portal or watch the broadcast right here on the Plus League YouTube channel. Cai Qingjing on the right, Taibao and Xiaohu, Mini Hu, Little Hu on the left, making his Plus League broadcasting debut. Hope he's doing well, and hope all you fans are doing well. There's the combined team stats from the first half, Coach. It's the preseason after all, so maybe a little bit more forgiveness for the low shooting percentage and the multitude of turnovers so far in this game and miscues.
Yeah, but we see these Kings and the Dreamers just doing what they do, getting a lot of three-pointers up. Again, 20 for the Dreamers, 16 for the Kings, and the Kings just doing a great job taking advantage of those corner threes. That's really what's been able to keep them in the game.
We're also going to be working with the chat a little bit more, as we do have 5 games to broadcast after all. That is correct. Chen Sinian, Lance, was a former Dreamer, but now joining the new Taipei Kings staff. Getting some looks at the highlights, the Kings without their imports, and Gilbeck, the only import for the Dreamers, getting really familiar. We've been told that Julian Boyd has got some work to do to get back onto the floor, but he'll add an interesting dynamic to the Dreamers.
Yeah, well, we've seen Gilbeck do a good job defensively here for these Dreamers. Again, just getting blocks, being able to get out on pick and rolls, and just kind of clogging things up with that wingspan that he has. Really hurt these Kings offensively.
Other Dreamers joining him on the offensive end. Chen having a good performance after having a slow start, but after the impressive finals performance, Wang Zhongyuan and Jason scoring 8 points in the first half so far in this one. So, like we always mention, a lot of the local guys getting their chance to shine in the preseason.
Yeah, well, we said Omar right there with a nice lay-in. Again, we've seen him have his ups and downs on those pick and rolls, but again, this is the time that they're going to have to improve and kind of show that they can contribute once the regular season starts going.
So they're 7 for 16 3-point shooting is a good mark, and we expect the Kings to also be a lot more of a perimeter team, but they do a different style. All of that and more
when we see their game tomorrow against these Kings. That's it for the first segment of the halftime analysis. We'll be back with the second half after this.
90号的朋友在吗？90号的朋友在吗？
再确认一次，90号的朋友举个手。
C 排90号，一次 C 排90号，来。
我刚看橘色的朋友，他 check 了3次。
他 check 了3次，来，来，大家给他一点掌声，嘘声也可以，没有关系。来，让我检查一下。
我们公开验票啊！
来，我们面向那边，90号 C 排，没错，恭喜你！好，在这边稍等一下。哦，来了，稍等一下，我们要邀请出我们 Porsche 的 CEO Matthias Bozzi。来，有请 ，Please come to the stage. Here. OK. Take a photo. 来，看向前面。OK 吗？摄影师 ？OK， 好，谢谢 ，Thank you。OK，take a seat，Thank you。好，谢谢。阿票，欢迎。好，去。好，谢谢。
很像地勤哎，把那个行李箱直接带走。
哎，看一场球可以带走这样价值非常高的行李箱，也是很开心的一件事情。好了，等一下的下半场要准备开始。现在工作人员帮我投我们的 QR code， 帮我投 QR code。今天呢，跟大家讲一下，我们中场大家加入我们官方的 LINE 账号了吗？来，还没加的赶快加入，因为我们中场呢在上面有抽奖的活动。好，现场不用做任何事，你只要扫描我们的 QR code 就可以进行抽奖。这次抽出来的奖品呢，有我们6队的联名 T 恤，还有我们这次热身赛的周边商品。好，大家赶快扫描我们的 QR code。另外，刚才有朋友看球看得太激动。
Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Coach Ben, your English commentators for the Plus League. Game 7 of the Plus League preseason here at NTU Sports Center. See the 7 flags hung from the banners, hung from the roof. Taking a look at the leading scorers for starting with the Kings as JJ with his 3-pointers totaling 9 points. Omar and college teammate KJ Honkaije with 6 each. Steve-O with a couple made baskets for 5 points, and Potty pretty modest with the scoring as Kyle with just 3 to start things off.
Yeah, we've seen very democratic approach. We've seen some guys getting loose from the 3-point line. We've seen Omar doing a good job on those rolls, but it's going to look like this the entire season for these Kings. Again, not really a dominant scorer there for them, a lot of role players. So again, good start, continued start for these Kings.
Meanwhile, the leading scorer for the Dreamers is Jay Chen with 9, and Jason following him up with 8 points. Young players getting into the mix. One of the team leaders in Kenny will have 7 points, and you can tell Brandon Gilbeck's getting into a better flow of the mix with the team, and still committing some of those offensive fouls, but being a big factor in this one with his interior presence and blocking ability.
Yeah, and again, that's what you want to see as a coaching staff. Obviously, without an import there, it's not going to be quite the same challenge as it will be going down the line, but the quicker he gets used to these Taiwanese referees and the style of these Taiwanese players, it's going to be a lot easier for him to help these Dreamers on the court.
Wide blocks in the first half, making his way to what I'd imagine is the Plus League block record. All that and more after the break. Some of the fans sitting nearby in the Plus League preseason. The chance for the league to show off its creativity and its connections and business savvy. Also the fans buying tickets, also an important part of the event and the process. Phil, Chen, and Jason sitting courtside, team leaders and important personnel for the new Taipei Kings. Head coach of the Chinese Taipei national team, Charlie Parker, there too.
Yeah, Coach Parker always there taking his notes. Again, there's a lot of players that he's going to be coaching when it comes to the next window, which I believe is in February. So a lot of time, but a lot of work for him to do.
And I've seen his little notebook. Does he even use his computer?
He's an old man. I think Coach Parker's about 150.
I see.
So it's great to chat with him because he's got a lot of experience. Again, we've had a lot of chats about Taiwanese basketball and just basketball in general. So he's a great resource for Taiwan to have, and I know that the players love playing for him. So he really doesn't need a phone or a laptop or an iPad because he's got that little notebook.
That's right. Basketball community is not immense here in Taiwan, so a lot of guys familiar. Not in uniform today, but a guy like Calvin Chen Lihuan, also a former Taiwan beer player. And Yang Jiming, for example, coach or was an assistant coach for the NTU, or wait, not the NTU, excuse me, Zhenzi University team.
And CCU.
That's in CCU, right? And 3 of those guys drafted to the Kings.
Yeah, it's good to see some of these elder statesmen giving back to the Taiwanese community and passing on that knowledge just like Coach Parker is. So
the second half is underway. The Dreamers will start with the basketball. Flip up to Gilbeck, but tapped away.
And the same kind of action that they ran out to start the game. Started the game, it was Doug with a nice little lob up to Gilbeck that time. Yang Sung-yen not able to get it. Passing into a turnover.
Lucky bounce, and that's the first points of the second half.
And again, we see these coaches going into the same playbook that they had in the first half. And then first play for the Kings, once again going to Amigo in the post, and we see Kenny with a nice little pass, but Gilbeck not able to finish the layup.
AJ will try to punish. That's a no good for him. Sung-yen to Gilbeck once again. They've gone to him in every possession. He passes out to Jeff. Strokes it way too hard. Steve-O picks up the loose basketball the other way. And the lefty finishes on the left side.
Yeah, it's a nice outlet pass for Yang Sung-yen, just for the wrong team.
And just a minute and 16 seconds in, the Dreamers call timeout.
衣服，等一下啊，你的枪加压了没？
刚刚是不是有2楼的朋友还没有拿到礼物？来点声音！
等一下啊，
让我看到你们想不想 T 恤？这边的朋友，2楼的朋友偏冷静啊！从我们主持人的枪加压好，我们就会把 T 恤送到2楼。
好，来了。我是不是都没有照顾到这边的？
没错，
来了哦。
我刚刚欠右边楼上的，我来试试看这个火力。哎，这不行啊！
Early timeout by the Dreamers. Thanks fans for tuning in to the Plus League preseason broadcast. Has a little bit of malfunction with the t-shirt cannon. trying to get t-shirts up to the second level here at NTU Stadium. Coach Julius next to Coach Thomas. I would need to double check his surname pronunciation. When I asked Coach Julius about finding Coach Thomas, all he said was, I just looked for the guy with the same haircut. And it seems appropriate.
It is, but I'm sure he's thrilled to have somebody on the bench that he can talk basketball with, who he can kind of go through some of his progressions with and figure out his X's and O's. So it's really good that the Dreamers are putting some resources into getting some different coaches here into Taiwan.
Speaking of the Dreamers and resources, one of the most important, as a made shot by Jeff in the middle, one of the most important NTU alums is actually Professor Louis Chen, one of the team leads of the Dreamers organization, as we have a shoving match over here between Amigo and Jeff.
Yeah, we see Kings again going into the post to Amigo. We've seen Jeff not back down from anybody. Obviously, this physical play is nothing compared to what he's used to from China. So this game's starting to get physical.
I didn't notice it till the replay. Yang Se-Yan pointing at the floor. Ling Si-Xuan. And now a foul. And additional whistles going around.
Again, you can call it the preseason, but guys want to win. Guys took care about their individual and team performances. Jeff got a lot of ball, but also got a lot of Amigo's body, and you could say he disagrees with that foul.
He got poked in the nose by the basketball too on his way up.
Again, sometimes players not the best judge of whether it was a foul or not.
One of the sports that huddles the most is volleyball, and maybe the Dreamers need to take a page from them, because they always huddle on the free throw line as the other team's trying to take their free throws.
Yeah, that's just communication. Yeah, that's the thing that every coach is getting on their players every day. Just talk, talk, talk. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Make sure that you know what your teammates are doing. As we see the Dreamers go to their staple with Gilbeck with another pin down. That time with KJ with a hold, but it's good for any coach to see his players communicate on the court and kind of take a leadership role.
Now Jeff on the baseline tripped up. So a lot of fouls in the early going here.
And that's where we've seen these Kings, regardless of whether it was 2 weeks ago against Aguara or today. We've seen Coach Marchand being very comfortable letting his guys go one-on-one in the post. Not a lot of help. Amigo kind of showed a late dig there. Not sure if that was an Amigo specialty or that was part of the game plan. But again, we're starting to get a picture of what other guys' game plans are. The ref does a good job breaking up that pass from Amigo.
Another turnover. Jeff only 2 for 11 in this one. Trying to find his shot in the preseason. Tomorrow they take on the Lioneers in the marquee matchup of the preseason. Kenny with a deep three from the wing, no.
Yeah, again, Kings fortunate there. There's a little bit of communication. Omar and Steve-O, not sure if they're switching, staying with their own. Kenny wide open, just not able to hit the three.
(46-42). No subs yet for the Kings. Amigo going after Kenny on the block. Lost his legs there. Si-Xuan, Chassel creating, flings up a wild one. KJ with a second chance, short.
But on that post, we've seen the Dreamers be able to do that this whole game. Just pushing these Kings off of their spots. Just being very physical on and off the ball.
Doug fouled in transition, or fouls in transition after taking a spill.
Yeah.
Seems like one of those veteran need a break kind of fouls.
Yeah, one of those, I'm not getting back in transition defense. I got 6 fouls to use. might as well use it now.
Well, that will trigger the referees going to the monitor for a possible unsportsmanlike foul.
Like we've said, these coaches are very consistent in trying to either get the refs to make that call for them or disagreeing with the ref's call. So once again, to the monitor to see if it is a U.
Only one import in this game, but fans coming up with the Lioneers-Braves game. Both teams registering their allowed 2 imports. We'll bring that matchup to you guys at the 4 o'clock hour.
We got another doubleheader today, Ryan?
We have a doubleheader today and a 3-game set tomorrow. So we're gonna need the chat to help us out get through that one.
Do we have a beverage sponsor yet?
Unsportsmanlike foul called. So the right hand, no chance of getting to the basketball.
So do we have a drink sponsor yet, Ryan, or no? A beverage sponsor?
I don't believe I can name them quite yet.
Okay, because we're going to need to stay hydrated tomorrow. Talking for, what, 9 straight hours?
9 straight hours.
Whew.
Well, 20-minute breaks, but we talk to the players and coaches, so it's not much of a break, isn't it, Coach?
Exactly. We're working hard for our fans out there, Ryan. We're looking forward to the regular season, too.
Reminder, December 4th is when the Plus League season kicks off. So next week, kind of a break as KJ with the reverse layup.
Yeah, we saw miscommunication for the Kings. Same thing that side on the weak side. Not sure if Gilbeck's getting out or Doug's getting out. Again, easy blow by for the layup by KJ.
Steve-O got pushed out of the way initially, but jumps in the play, now guarding Kenny. Pushing him out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Steve-O, just taking away that angle. Again, really nowhere for Kenny to go as we see KJ able to get up and under, using the rim to protect the ball. Nice finish there.
Taishin. To Amigo in the corner, another post up. Didn't see this hardly at all 2 weeks ago in New Taipei. Knocks it down.
Yeah, we've seen Amigo really being the only person who can spark this offense in this lineup. You know, we saw a little bit from JJ as we see a nice little dump pass to Gilbeck on the roll, but these Kings, these younger players are really struggling finding scoring opportunities, and these Kings going to Amigo a lot more in the second half.
Gilbeck at the line, makes his first. Kind of noteworthy, Honkai Jia, obviously with the championship Eagles in the UBA level, only 12 combined points in the first 2 games, already has double-digit scoring in this one.
Yeah, and he's really not a guy that you're going to run a lot of plays with. He's a guy that kind of finds his spots, gets loose balls, good cutting. You know, we've seen him get some drives on the second side. So he's not a guy who's going to give you consistent scoring performances every game because, again, the ball's not going to be in his hands a lot.
Amigo against Doug. Shaking and fading away. Airballs that one.
Yeah, good job by Doug just taking away that right shoulder, forcing him to spin. Airball by Amigo.
Yeah, with the mid-range, got it.
Yeah, as we see Omar and Gilbeck once again getting into it. Again, something for our fans to watch out for in these last quarter and a half.
KJ will fire from the top to the right. Dreamers trying to extend on a 3-point lead. There's a loose ball foul, pushing Gilbeck in the back.
Yeah, just a lot more activity from Gilbeck today. Again, ball's not in his hands nearly as much as it was in the last couple weeks. That time just setting that step up in transition, hard roll, ball finds you, 2 more shots. Well, no, just 1 more foul, I guess.
Omar and Gilbeck will go to the bench. So Nick and Aji. And hasn't played a lot in this game. Senior Hall number 15 is in as well. Yang Sun-yin turns around the screen and shoots the mid-range. Not typically his shot. No problem for him.
Yeah, tough shot right there. Again, we got some interesting lineups on the court right now. Again, Amigo at the 4 here for these Kings.
Nice drive, and there's a lay-in by KJ.
And that's what KJ will give you. Again, swing, swing, drive the closeout. Nice finish for a couple points.
Good swarming defense by the Kings, and here they come. On the right side, no looking pass, but Amigo has to turn around for the lay-in.
Yeah, but once again, KJ just taking what the defense gives him. Nice little baseline drive, dump pass to Amigo for 2.
The Kings playing without a true center. Only have Senior Hall in the middle. Doug driving past Amigo. Kenny will be left open. His shot off iron. They leave him open in the corner, short. That seems to be how he'll miss those 3-pointers. Doug will try to answer, also off the mark. So the scoring struggles apparent, shall we say, in the middle third of this third quarter.
Yeah, that may be Amigo's 3rd or 4th turnover just in transition. Again, Coach Marchand not thrilled. He's getting a timeout here in the 3rd.
So first, the driving layup by KJ. And a no-look pass across the face.
And that's what he's going to give you. Again, just given what the defense gives you right there. Not taking a lot of bad shots, plays within the offense. Again, passer, shooter. I'm sure he's somebody that the Kings are going to be able to use going forward.
He's a veteran. He can probably be all right with us mentioning Amigo with 4 turnovers in this game. Leads the field. The Kings a little bit more under control in the second half. Only 2 so far, but their offensive flow kind of goes up and down. And a little to our surprise, sometimes Amigo is the one slowing things down with his post-ups, which sometimes work, but leaves the other 4 guys standing around.
And that's going to be the challenge for Coach Marchand. Amigo a little more advanced in age, so he's going to want to play at a little bit slower pace. Honestly, he probably reads the game a little bit better than some other guys, but if you got all these young guys who want to get up and down, and their advantage is going to be swarming defense and passing and cutting on offense, it's a challenge to work one of these veterans in, and a challenge for the veteran to kind of figure out his role. So once again, a lot of work to do for these Kings. But I think we can say whatever we want about Amigo, because I'm pretty sure he's not listening to the English broadcast.
In the previous shot, we saw Yang Xingzi, who's recovering from the broken nose he sustained in New Taipei. He was their starting center and scored 17 points in his and the Kings' debut. They swarm Gilbeck, and that's a brick hook shot.
And like you said, obviously Yang Xingzi is an undersized big, as we see another turnover from these Kings in transition, but he can't play slow. Again, his advantage is going to play with speed, and that's where it's going to be interesting to see how he plays with somebody like Amigo. As the speed of this 3rd quarter picks up a little bit, and the defense seems to disappear.
I seem to notice the number of skitterbug guards now on the floor. That probably helps a lot.
Everybody's gone small, and like we said, when people go small, everybody goes fast, and Aji goes to that floater.
But this time, driving across the basket instead of a straight line toward it. So different iterations of that shot on display. JJ to Shaoli, his floater Kind of off-time that one. Ball bounced to Kenny. He goes to the basket with a left hand, leaves it short, and Chen blows the putback. Probably helps to have maybe 10 or 15 more centimeters.
Yeah, some bad defense, bad offense, bad shot making other than Aji's little floaters. Goes with a quick step there from distance. Yeah, and Aji, we said it before, unbelievable college player who came to the P-League last year and had some growing pains in the first half of the season, but ever since then, as we saw with his huge scoring explosion, he's done a great job here for these Dreamers.
Leading some of those squads to success at the collegiate level. We already talk a lot about his adjustment period last season, but highest single game scorer for Plus League domestic players last year with 39, both times in the 30s at home. So his performance on the road, still an area of improvement.
And we've said it before, he's a guy that plays with pace. And these Dreamers want to get up and down. He's somebody that pushes the pace, and he's doing a much better job controlling the pace. A lot of these younger guards typically go a little too fast. The turnovers start coming around, but Aji's done a good job starting to understand how to play the game, and Gilbeck continues to dominate these offensive boards for the Dreamers.
Having a little bit of an easier time against Zheng Yunhao, who committed the foul.
And again, this is kind of the performance you'd expect from Gilbeck going against these local bigs. The challenge for him is going to be when he starts seeing some of these non-local bigs who are a little bit taller, a little bit heavier, a little bit more skilled. Obviously, his advantage here is inside, but once he goes against Sim, once he goes against Taguara, he may have to get pulled out to the perimeter and see what he can do there.
6 for 6 from the free throw line. That's 10 points for the lone import for the Dreamers to play in the preseason. So Aji might be the shortest player in the Plus League, but he has put on a little bit of weight during the offseason. Hopefully that helps him out, as there's a foul on the other end.
Yeah, poor communication by the Dreamers. They've run this Spain pick and roll a couple times, and Gilbeck's got caught both times. His teammates not talking to him at all. Xiaoli, great screens, a couple possessions in a row. This time being able to get to the line and hopefully get some points.
Xiaoli being leader. One of the first signings by James Mao as the general manager of the Kings. Has a lot to prove with his on-court value, but coach, somebody who people in this industry really like as a personality, as a teammate.
Personality, he's got an abundance of that. Again, he's been a journeyman, to say the least. He's probably played on 7 or 8 teams in Taiwan, but everywhere he goes, he's a good teammate. He's a fan favorite. He just hasn't been able to put together the performance on the court quite yet.
A replay of the fight for positioning down there.
Yeah, Gilbeck just putting people under the basket, as you said. Not really the heft that is needed from these Kings right now. Nobody who can push him out a little bit. Again, not a dominant scoring performance for Gilbeck in limited minutes, but definitely an improvement over his performance the last couple weeks.
Well, he's still perfect from the free throw line, coach. Does that get in the player's head if he's made too many?
No, I don't think anybody's worried about making too many.
Xiaoli from the top leaves it way short, and long ricochets as Kyle picks up the rebound. Pick and roll. Down low, nice cut and nice find, JJ.
Yeah, just nice chemistry there. You could see it, the baseline cut start from the drive, and perfect bounce pass and finish.
The lead down to 3 as Aji fires way deep, and one of those high bounces to the back of the basket.
But that's something that he's proven that he can do, as we see Kyle with a perfect look-away pass. And once again, using the basket to protect the ball from the Dreamers' import.
Something that might just be a preseason look for the Dreamers is Aji and Jeff. I mentioned a lot how these guys are the point guards for the Dreamers.
But that's what we've said before, that Coach Julius's offense is very equal opportunity. A lot of guys are going to have an opportunity to run pick and rolls, and everybody's got an opportunity to shoot threes off the dribble.
Like that made three by Jay Chen. Hook pass Xiaoli from the corner this time. His rainbow's in. Again, there's that pace, but Achi throws it way too high, and Gilbeck tied up Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that you want to put on Gilbeck and how much of that you want to put on Aji. These Dreamers, again, kind of overestimating their teammates' jumping abilities as Gilbeck tries to use Kyle as a launching pad and gets a lot of his face, too.
Oh, good thing everybody's okay after taking a little bit to recover. Brandon Gilbeck's 4th personal foul.
But only 2 offensive fouls today, Ryan, so that's an improvement, right?
That's right. In his Saturday debut with the Dreamers, he fouled out of the game and only 1 defensive foul, but already made the adjustment the next day against the Pilots. 3 from the right side. There's Xiaoli.
And we've seen the Dreamers do that twice. Just helping off the strong side way too much. Steven hit a 3 in the first half. This time, Xiaoli doing the same thing. And I'm sure that Jeff meant to bank in that 3.
You think that's an advantage for some of these teams with a big bank as the title sponsor of their corporation?
I'm sure that that's what they work on in practice all the time.
Another try for the heat check. No good with the step back.
You talk about corporate synergy. I don't know if it's extended all the way to actually into the playbook and into how these players practice.
We hear about Sun Yen is short. Lee Kai-yin will hang on to it for the last possession. And JJ's chance on Gilbeck. Bacon, but leaves his 3 short. And lost track of the clock was Jeff, so we'll head to the 4th quarter. Dreamers up by 3 in Game 7 of the Plus League preseason.
照到了，好，就跟着我们的镜头一起玩一玩。大家可以看看大荧幕上面，如果你被照到了，请做出跟我们执行长一样的手势。这位球迷朋友 ，OK， 没错，做出我们 Plus League 的手势。来，我们可以换下一位。哎呀！跳起来，没有问题。好的，不要遮脸呐，干嘛这么害羞呢？手势做出来就对了。OK， 嗨，照到你喽。很好，假装不知道。所以我们场边的朋友一起做我们手势，我们加号的手势。请你跟我一起这样做，没错。做出我们 Plus League 的手势。还有我们富邦的球迷朋友，喂，你们在等下一场比赛对吧？这位朋友，博智，不要偷睡觉，博智。来，手势做出来，很好。好，谢谢我们所有的朋友。还有， OK，不要太久了。
CEO of the Plus League, Charles Chen, with the plus hand signal on the interactive cam inside NTU Sports Center. You're watching the English broadcast of this Plus League preseason matchup between the New Taipei Kings and the Formosa Taishin Dreamers.
You see the Dreamers once again going with that mini lineup with Doug at the 5. Let's see how to do with this 5-out lineup. Or if Doug's going to pretend that he's the big and try and duck in the lane.
Jeff to Kenny to Jay Chen. He floats it from the free throw line short. And the second opportunity.
Yeah, these Dreamers just dominating the offensive glass today. And not just Gilbert. And that's got to be worrying for Coach Marchand. Again, you can give up some of those second chance opportunities if it's an import, but if it's locals, it's a little more concerning.
2-on-1, Jay Chen with a tough layup. Lead to a transition on the other side. Kyle and Yang Sen-yin wait for the screen. They fire from 3. Stagnant offense by the Kings.
Yeah, you said it. Just not a lot going on there. Not able to get anything off the pick and roll. Not a great possession for the Kings.
So 14 offensive rebound by the Dreamers to 7 by the Kings, and 5 of them to, as you would expect, Brandon Gilbeck, but 5 of them to Jay Chen, putting in the extra effort.
And that's the issue. It's an effort issue. Jay just getting his own miss, just picking up some of those loose balls. Yeah, and Brendan's 5. You can probably accept those, but those local offensive rebounds are a little more concerning.
So Doug's had plenty of practice as the 5 in the offseason. Will go to the free throw line on the push.
Yeah, that time we see him going to where he's a little bit more comfortable on the perimeter. Taking the rookie off the bounce, getting to the free throw line where 2 easy points here, Ryan? Or did I jinx him?
He is a shooter.
Jinxed him.
Jinxed him.
Sorry, Doug.
3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Make that 4 points, and the New Taipei fans kind of falling asleep at the wheel there. Kyle getting a lot of defensive attention, but finds a crease. And an offensive foul.
But again, we've seen some less than ideal chemistry between Kyle and his bigs. Not sure when to roll, not sure when he's just gonna attack. Again, that time just kind of covering up the small and just riding him down. Again, when you stick that arm out, the refs are gonna call that foul every time.
Daniel Hall with 4 fouls guarding Doug. Something the pilots do really well is the bigs clearing out some interior space. Jay Chen, back to Kenny. He puts on the moves. But Stevens on him. Shoots a tough jump shot. No good.
Yeah, good defensive possession for the Kings. A lot of switching, but again, just being solid individually and staying in front of the offense.
Talk about odd matchups. Yang Se-yin guarding the forward Deng Yuhao. Amigo missing the runner. Kenny will fire from the corner. And there's another offensive rebound by a little on the other side. Jeff's cut, that's a bucket.
Again, too easy, too easy, too easy. Again, Smalls getting in there on the weak side. Smalls cutting right through the defense. Obviously something that this coaching staff isn't thrilled with, and the Kings calling a timeout.
TV timeout, and we'll be back after a break.
I stay out too late.
Fans, we're only halfway to our like girls, so leave a like for the plus girls with their performance.
Is that what it's come to, Ryan? We're relying on the plus girls to pull in some likes for us?
It's more like we'd do it any way we can.
I take this personally, but I don't know. Players looking a little bit sluggish with this 1 p.m. start. Maybe our fans doing it too, although I'm sure a lot of fans overseas. So,
speaking of overseas, in development is an English page to the Plus League website, so stay tuned for that. I've been told we have that in the works for the season opener as Jeff tied up Steven, and it'll be a turnover and an easy lay-in for Kenny on the other side.
Yeah, Jeff, once again, a one-man turnover machine, creating those turnovers from the Kings. We've seen him do it 3 or 4 times today, just pressuring the ball and creating turnovers.
Playing very physical, and out front are the Dreamers.
But that's something you can live with. Again, these are aggressive fouls. Fouls where you're trying to get up into people and create that ball pressure, but it's something that you'd much rather see than those passive fouls where you're not getting there in time.
Long rebound. Steven, I believe Jeff were in that vicinity. Will stays Kings basketball, down by 10. Convenient as Jeff takes a seat on the bench. Taking a seat next to lead the way, Derek. KJ from the corner splashes it.
Yeah, nice little baseline set with the back screen on the weak side. Amigo with a nice pass, and KJ with a nice mid-range shot.
Gilbeck taking a seat next to the scorer's table. Dreamers still in their ultra small lineup. Driving kick, and Doug is the man left open underneath.
Yeah, just getting behind that Kings defense. Great cut by the veteran. Nice find by the youngster.
Under 8 minutes to play, Amigo post up on Sun Yin. Right, the finger roll is in.
Yeah, that time Amigo going a lot quicker. Just going right with that quick spin. Able to get by the defense easily and get it up on the glass before the defense can get there. As we see Aji with the, I'm not going to give him credit for that no-look pass. He passed it and looked away.
Well, when maybe the target is that obvious, he should have done it with his eyes closed. Does that count as no look?
Yeah, that's, you talk about pet peeves. Coaches don't like it when you pass with your eyes closed, Ryan.
You heard it here, folks. If you want to play for Coach Ben, you better keep your eyes open.
Yeah, nice job there by Gilbeck, getting in the game and getting a nice screen assist, sealing Omar and allowing Doug to have a real wide open lane to the basket.
Almost a steal on coast to coast. Aji commits the foul.
Again, these Dreamers continue to be very aggressive on the ball, and again, that's why they're up by 8 here in the 4th quarter.
Substitution for both teams. Jason on the inbound. Amigo driving middle with Omar tying up Gilbeck, and it'll be an and one.
Amigo getting right to that left hand, putting that right shoulder into Kenny, and no love lost between the former teammates there. A tough finish going away from the basket. Able to throw it going sideways. Again, nice move by the veteran.
The and one goes down. Now the Dreamers with a 7-point lead, trying to find Gilbeck. He screens for Sun Yin. And Doug, I guess, playing the power forward position with a rebound.
Going forward, this is probably where we'll see Doug at more often. Again, at the 4, able to stretch out the defense, which is something that these Dreamers love to do.
The length of Omar got Jason to miss. Now Steve-O from the corner, short.
Yeah, we talked about Coach Marchand going with a younger lineup the entire game, but looks like here in winning time, again, this is probably a lineup that we're more likely to see during the regular season. Obviously without imports, but again, we got some of the young player, we got some of the players with some experience, and then we got the veteran Amigo. Again, if the Kings are going to make their run, it's probably right about now.
Opportunity at the basket, and Kenny will go to the line.
Well, we've seen that a couple times. Kings treating Kenny like a shooter, chasing over that screen. Again, at this point, most coaches, especially those from overseas, are going to say we're not going to do much scouting over on the opponent. We're going to worry about ourselves. So I'm sure that play will be scouted a little bit differently during the regular season and probably be defended a little bit better.
That's exactly what Coach Marchand said.
See, I know how these coaches think, Brian.
11 points for Kenny Chen. Kaijia getting pressured again, but this time by Sun Yin. With it behind the back to Omar. Kind of clipped a Dreamer. So JJ with a nice turnaround, but leaves it short, and could have been a kick ball there. Kings with another chance.
Yeah, really odd spacing there with Steven and JJ standing in the same spot. Again, they have so many shooters on the court. It really doesn't do themselves any help just taking up these other spots. So again, lots of room for improvement here from this Kings team, but again, also lots of things to be excited about.
So off the big boots of Gilbeck, prevented an easy bucket for Omar.
Yeah, and Ryan, we talked earlier about, sometimes you got new fundamentals. Again, that behind the back pass, probably 10 years ago, it's something the coaches can't live with. Nowadays, it's probably a solid pass, something you work on in practice.
Now, laying out for that layup was Steve-O. He'll go to the line. Oh, that clip to the head is why he's going to the line. Talk about laying out in baseball as an outfielder or with ultimate frisbee, but I don't see it a lot with basketball.
I'm more worried about Steven's man bun up there. He's gonna have to tighten that up, or he's not quite the handsome player that he used to be.
And make sure the floor is cleaned up as the forward will take his free throws. Reminder fans, coming up next is the Hsinchu Jeko Lioneers against the Taipei Fubon Braves. Our first look at 2 imports per team in the Plus League's second season. Jeff finds Gilbeck on the elbow. Waiting for the action to happen. Doug will fire from top, and it's money. With a little bit of a dance afterwards.
That's what we expect out of the veteran. Again, saving that possession with a long 3 as the shot clock winds down, and that's what you expect out of KJ. Again, young player, just takes what the defense gives him. Nice mid-range shot, but these Kings are going to need to get some stops if they want a chance at this game.
Another chance from the outside is a rebound for Steve-O. KJ has a lot of those idiosyncrasies in his fundamentals. Kind of throws the opponents off. Steve-O's deep shot is short. Kenny bumped into a King, and that'll be a turnover.
Migo had no intention of shooting that one as Kai Jie makes an odd decision to throw the basketball out of bounds.
I don't even know what to say about that one, but again, Dougie contested, top of the key, NBA range, and do a little dance, Dougie. I have no idea what was going on there. I don't know if he was expecting somebody to fly in from the rafters and dunk that, but as we said, room for improvement.
Yang Seunyeon's floater is short. Now Kyle's shot clanks off the iron. That outside shooting struggles continue.
Yeah, other than 1-3, these Dreamers have done a good job chasing Steven off the line. And again, Kyle getting into the action on the second chance points.
But a foul on defense. That rapid counterattack by the Dreamers. First free throw goes down for Aji. Kind of to our surprise, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Oh, it's still good from the line, so shooting prowess on display in different ways. Under 4 minutes, Kyle's mid-range gets the lucky bounce.
Yeah, not a lot of space there for Kyle. Still able to hit that on that same Spain pick and roll, but again, these Kings not going away.
Former teammates Achi on Amigo. Leads to a deep Gilbeck shot. Might be his first three-point attempt in the preseason. Now the other way, Omar to Amigo. Two of the bigger players for the Kings finding space down low.
Yeah, unexpected combination there, but nice patience by Omar. Nice movement off the ball by Amigo. Again, 4-point game with 3 minutes left.
It's one of Kai Jie's specialties, stripping from behind, but that time called a foul.
Again, we see Kyle, not a lot of room, contested mid-range jumper, not something that most coaches is looking for, but if it goes in, it makes everybody happy.
Fouling out of the game. Is Hong Kai Jie, 17 points and 5 boards.
That's probably his best game of the preseason so far, just kind of doing it all over the court. Doing some playmaking, doing some scoring. A little bit of a struggle defensively, but nothing too unexpected for a young player.
After the make to a 6-point game. Kyle, after spending a lot of the shot clock, bringing the ball up, gives it up.
Once again, individual depth of defense by Jeff. Not able to shut Amigo down on that play.
That brings Amigo's point total to 16. Pick and roll over Jeff and Doug. He's found a crease down low.
Yeah, second time he's done that in his fourth quarter, just finding space behind the defense. Once again, nice pass from the Dreamers guards, able to find it for Doug for that nice little flip shot.
Well, Gilbeck was in the game, but maybe with 2 imports, Might not be the kind of spacing and opportunity down low, but it's good that the players see the open man and can hit them, like in this case.
Yeah, again, we got a lot of players who play with the ball in their hands, but as a result of Coach Julius's offense, so everybody's kind of looking for teammates. Everybody's looking for open opportunities, and they've done a good job distributing the ball so far today.
I guess in a competitive sense, something the Dreamers been doing good of is saving their second half timeouts. They have 2, none for the new Taipei Kings.
And that's kind of a result of them having the lead the entire second half. Other than that rough stretch in the first couple minutes of the third quarter, they've had a pretty steady lead, but we've seen these Kings cut into that deficit going here late in the fourth, and still a chance in crunch time.
In the first 6 games of the Plus League preseason, the Kings had the most fast break points, averaging 14.5. They already have 15, but Dreamers also doing their part with 13 fast break points. Of course, a lot of that pressure also eats away at the shot clock. So kind of a dual purpose to that strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing for these Kings will be getting fast break points while limiting turnovers. Yeah, and you want to play with pace, but you don't want to play too fast. And that's going to be a challenge, especially for such a young team that hasn't played together.
Omar from way high post. Waiting for Steve-O to get free. His 3-point shot, again short. Omar with a long rebound. JJ from the left side, and he hits.
Those are the toughest threes to defend, the ones inside out, and especially those ones on a second chance opportunity. Great job by these Kings hustling in the fourth quarter, getting some more offensive rebounds.
Gilbeck and Doug kind of playing a 2-man screening game, and a holding foul by the Kings.
Yeah, we've seen this physicality in the second half. And that's something that Gilbeck's got to be looking forward as we see a beautiful ball rolled out to the corner for JJ to hit that three. Again, when guys knows that you get frustrated with contacts, they're just going to find you and try to hit you even more. So I wasn't going to mention he hadn't missed from the line at all. I didn't want to jinx him, so. But that one's not on me, Ryan.
That was not on you. You know what, fans? If you were thinking of it, that's on you.
It's definitely on you guys.
Now we're hearing it from the stands. 1 for 2 was Brendan Gilbeck. Don't forget, under 2 minutes, player timeout will play a factor in this one. Amigo with Kenny puts the spin cycle and overshoots the layup.
That was almost as bad as KJ's lob to nobody. Again, beautiful move. Not so beautiful finish. Dreamers had a chance on Amigo's beautiful footwork to cut it to 2, but just lost the ball in midair.
What does Mark Jackson say? Or whose video was it? $1 Million Move, 5-cent finish?
You got it. You can use whatever denomination you want. Result is the same.
Gilbeck and Jeff screen and roll. His shot off the backboard. Banks closed on that one. So in crunch time, Amigo's going to be leading the troops. Big to big screen. He's going to attack Gut, but loses the basketball. And Kenny comes away with it.
Yeah, nice individual defense right there by Doug. Again, veteran action right there, and Doug getting the upper hand on that matchup.
They spread it out now. Amigo in charge of defending Jeff. Definite agility and looks like fatigue advantage.
His step back three clanks off. But less than seconds left. I guess bad awareness of the clock, or well, the lack of timeout certainly a huge factor here.
Yeah, you could see everybody on the bench calling for that 30-second player timeout, trying to advance the ball. I'm sure the refs will go back to the clock and see how much time should be left. Like you said, these Kings not being in a lot of close games like this, not being in these situations, and that's why these preseason games are so valuable. And this is something that Coach Marchand, as we see him right there, can go back and watch the film and say, hey, in this situation, this is what we need to do. I want you to use that timeout. We're going to advance the ball.
Omar.
Let's listen in.
JJ. Steve-O. Kyle. Kyle.
Yep.
JJ, you're going to curl around Omar.
Yeah.
Go to the corner. Kyle, you're going to curl around here. Steve-O, you're going to step. Omar, come down to the top. And then just slip to the basket, okay? It's got to be quick. It's got to be a catch and shoot. Catch and shoot, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Finish on three. 1, 2, 3.
Finish.
So takeaways from that, catch it and shoot it.
Yeah, again, obviously, unless the Dreamers are really undisciplined, as the refs now decide to go back to the tape. I'm not sure why they didn't do that before the timeout, but it is what it is. Again, unless the Dreamers are really undisciplined, there's really no chance for the Kings to win this game. But again, you want to see the execution. You want to see how players perform under pressure. So still a lot to learn in these last 1.37 seconds, or I'm assuming that the refs are going to add a little bit more time.
Coach Julius obviously voicing his displeasure of maybe the rhythm and the timing of it.
I'm sure Coach Julius is just kind of echoing what we said, or what I said, Ryan. Shouldn't bring you into the argument, but again, you had a 30-second timeout. Coach Julius put in his defensive plan, knowing that you only have to defend 1.37 seconds. Now, after the timeout is done, the refs are going to go back and look at it now. Everything changes. Everything's going to have to, kind of start from scratch. So, understandably upset for Coach Julius, and Coach Marchand also furious, I'm sure, behind that mask.
Something we might ask about later. And I think it's also disruptive to the viewing experience of the fans watching the game, whether in person or on the broadcast. So now they're on the floor, and now they need a meeting again.
I'm talking to the captains. Going back to 2.07 seconds on the clock. Informing them.
But at the same time, it's 1.3 on the big clock. Just the same.
Yeah, give them some time. It's preseason for the scorers table too, Ryan.
That is in fact true, Coach Ben. A number of Taiwan NTU students who are manning the scorers table along with.
Struggling with the math a little bit. Looks like I'm not the only one here who's not good at math, Ryan.
Really hate if they are trying to time it up.
It's the preseason. I think we can go 2.03. That's close enough. If we wait till it's really 2.07. Okay, 2.08. 0.01 margin of error, Ryan. We're good to go.
Amigo will inbound. As they have right to the basket for Kyle, and only a minute and, what's the math on that? A minute and 2/10 go off the clock.
Now, if the Kings really wanted to, I'm sure they could request to look at that as a little bit of time ran off the clock after the ball went through the hoop. But we'll see what they do. Is Amigo, beautiful pass. Kyle putting it through the hoop. Well, again, you could argue that there should be 1.1 seconds left on the clock. As the ball clears the net. It's going to be interesting to see if these Kings foul in this situation, knowing that they don't have another timeout, or if they kind of just let this game
If they line any guys up, just be right on
come
their
to
hip.
a natural
So that way,
end.
Considering how little time is on the clock, you pretty much need the Dreamers to pass it to a King and put up the shot immediately. I don't know if that's in the Dreamers
If you come
playbook,
together, you can switch any screens.
but we never know.
I guess we'll find out together, Ryan.
All right? Here we go. Finish.
Well, thank you, fans, for sticking around for the broadcast. Yodi and Isi, the theme for the second season of the Plus League. Something interesting. Head over to the broadcast link, the stream of the Lioneers-Braves game coming up. Of course, the basketball fans out there all know that in the second half of action, you can advance the basketball, but
I'm not sure why you'd advance the basketball.
well, it makes it a longer shot.
Oh, I know, but I thought we were talking to the Dreamers, giving it to the Kings so they could get a shot. Make it
Clearly
exciting
are not
for the
doing
fans.
what we wanted them to do.
Trying to make it exciting for the fans. As the first game of this five-game preseason stop comes to an end, Ryan.
There's your final. 89-87. Good fight put up by the Kings, but they stay winless in the preseason. After all, it is the preseason. They have a chance to get that first victory tomorrow against the Steelers. A lot of good performances, some insight into how guys who might not get a lot of playing time perform, and also the chance for the fans to see all the teams here in one sitting.
Yeah, we saw the Dreamers do a great job defensively, really throwing the Kings offense out of whack. We saw it in spurts, obviously, with some of the veterans taking a little more leisurely pace through this game. But again, we see that the Dreamers obviously putting a huge emphasis on the defensive end of the court this season.
Stick around for the player to be interviewed, and got word it will be Wu Yongsun, Jeff Wu. Down the stretch, the Kings had a 26-22 third quarter, making up a little bit of that ground. Here's Jeff Wu saying hello to our Mandarin broadcast duo. Asked about his all-around performance. The contributions he made and how the team is working together. His answer is it's adjustments that the entire team is trying to make after working together a lot in the off-season, but finally going up against a real team. So asked about the guys who are sitting out and how they'll work them in. Jeff mentioning how it'll be a group effort, but they'll have to trust the system that they put in, that everyone will play to their role. Thanks for Jeff joining us in the post game. And thank you fans for watching. Be sure to leave a like. The next game will be coming up, but we'll have some game analysis after the break.
I be ballin' like a motherfucker. fucking pro. I be ballin' like my nigga Mo. Check West, I ain't no motherfucking Joe. Steph West, stay with the fucking pole. You fuck around and get pulled.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, and born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that puts the kiss to bed. This that I got.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean in the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like a Montana, honey killers on the helmets. Legacies, family, wait and see, family. Pockets full, Danny, selling ball, candy. Been on the macho like Randy, the chopper go out to for granted. This nigga bullet your bandit, hope killers understand it. I got broads in Atlanta, twisted the lean in the fan. Credit cards and the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacy, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like a Montana, honey killers on the hands. Legacy, family, wait and see, family. Package full, Danny, selling ball, candy. Ain't out the macho like Randy, the chopper go out to for granted. This nigga bullet your bandit, hope the killers understand it.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty. My music's so loud, I'm swinging, they hoping that they gon' catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding, trying to catch me riding dirty. They can see me lean, I'm tense, so it ain't easy to be seen. When you see me ride by, they can see the gleam, and I shine on the deck in the TV screen. And ride with a new chick, she like cola, next to the PlayStation controller. There's a bull clip in my pistola, send a jacker into a coma. Girl, yeah, I'm crazy like crazy bone, just tryna run, ain't tryna have no babies. Ride clean as hell, so I pull in ladies. Laws of patrol, and you know they hate me. The music turn all the way up into the maximum. I can speak with some niggas try to jack for some, but we packing something that we have for we have a nigga locked up in the maximum security cell. I'm gripping hold, music loud, I'm tipping slow. Twisting like it just dough. Pull up behind and it's in his throat.
Wrapping up this Formosa Taishin Dreamers against New Taipei Kings game. The combined team stats with the Kings having a slight shooting advantage from overall field goal perspective, but knocking down more of their threes. Only 33 shot attempts, so in a lot of ways the Dreamers were the ones controlling the pace in this one. But I think another thing to note is how different players had different turns getting hot in this one for both teams.
Yeah, you say obviously with only one import on the court at a time, there's a lot of opportunity for these locals to show what they can do. I think the biggest story from this game was the Dreamers' defensive pressure, creating 21 turnovers from the Kings. Really tough to get into a flow, and that's something that this young team has to figure out very quickly.
So before heading to the regular season, something I'd like to ask Coach is how guys all stay sharp. But the next game coming up, the Lioneers will be taking on the Taipei Fubon Braves right here in NTU's Sports Center. Thanks to all you, the viewers, and the league, and the teams who are participating in this broadcast. Another game coming up and 3 tomorrow. Coach Ben, we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys in half an hour.
go B, 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 hot B, real B, sumo, factory, background, handy, front row, make this here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys, that's Nike boys hopping our coast. This shit way too big. When we pull up, give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had up at post. Had to hit my old town to duck the news. 24-hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm back up popping with the crew. I just landed in, just be mixes pop like Jamba.